Well, hello and good evening to all of you. Unfortunately, it appears that the weather hasn't quite read the script here. There has been a dreadful downpour from well before the moment the turnstiles opened, and there is considerable concern on the faces of the officials. We think it's going to be okay. Clearly, the pitch will be slippery. It'll be a challenge for those who have to officiate, never mind those who have to play. They know they are not going to be in for an easy game. But the crowd is all in, and the match, I'm delighted to be able to say, will go ahead. The Estadio do Dragão in Porto, distinctive in so many ways, by comparison with its Lisbon rivals. It is our understanding that they've gone with a 4-5-1.
Well, most teams that use this system, Peter, will work it in a way where, yes, they'll have a 4-5-1 shape off the ball and ideally a 4-3-3 shape on it. We often see that 4-1-4-1 shape too, and that has an obvious flexibility about it. It's a popular managerial selection because of that. It's just extremely flexible with all the numbers I've mentioned.
They've got underway here pretty promptly. Looking for space out wide. It's been intercepted, and that will come to nothing. Mariano tried to play it through.
Oh, that just required a bit more oomph to reach its target.
Galatasaray have the league's best defensive record. Can't get the better of his opposite number. Aimed long and direct. And it's got through. That is terrific skill. Hit into the middle. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. Fischer. Jonas. Played back in. Now it's Jonas. He goes for goal! He's done very well to get to that.
Well, as tests go, Peter, the keeper has just received an A+ grade.
Reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. And back to base. Gets it upfield. Chalik boots it to safety. Here it comes. Oh, that's lovely. Diving header! Brave effort, total commitment.
A good attempt. The ball was at a lovely height too.
Ball's out on the left now. Well, they could break here. And he's made certain that won't get through. He acknowledges that he should have come up with something better there.
Yeah, the idea was right. The delivery wasn't. They can revisit that further on.
Who's ball? Who's going to get there? Gorgeous control there. And he's looking at the referee, and the referee is shaking his head. Benfica are playing with a pleasing width here.
Especially that front line.
Is it working for you?
It's not movement for the sake of it, and yes, it is working for me. There's a purpose to create space.
The ball needed to be better there. It's a wasted chance. Dirtiok. Donk. Faguli. Galatasaray, so far providing no real test at all for the goalkeeper. And it's Silva. Shoots! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
Well, you can't ask for much more than that. A difficult moment he simply had to deal with.
Played it short. Plays it back. Cleared without complication. That's a foul. Free kick's been given. Keeper's got good distance on that. Has he picked him out? There really wasn't very much in that. Not far away from being a telling final ball.
Quality deserted them when they really needed it.
Plays it out to the wing. And that's out of reach. Belanda. Over to the left. Linus. He's got options out wide. And he's onside. Dirtiok. Oh, he's found him has a hit! And another time! He's got away with one there.
Well, one sloppy lapse like that can do a lot of damage, and it was triggered by the closing down.
Andre Almeida tried to play it through.
Was too timid to make it through the defence. It'll be noted and improved upon, I'm sure.
Out for a throw. Now it's Jonas. And it's Fischer. Now it's Rafa Silva. And that has been clubbed away. Chalik plays it forward. Dinks one in. Dirtiok. Fischer. Goes looking. Donk. Dirtiok. Out to the left it goes. Oh, and they really should have been made to pay.
You lucky boy, you lucky boy. Giving the ball away like that is usually punished.
Goes straight through to the keeper. Tries to get it forward quickly. Did well to step in there. That was more than necessary. And it's Belanda. Linus. Played into space out wide. Fernando. Donk. Faguli. Mariano. Gets a good foot in there. Keeper goes long. Belanda. Jardel. Referee's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time. So neither team has broken through, but certainly not for the want of trying. It's been an interesting game up to now, but still goals. Interesting half, just missing goals, so don't be surprised if the second half brings a change to the scoreline at the break, 0-0. Here's the start of the second half. 0-0 then, and we're back on the way. Now it's Jonas. Danger averted for now. And it's Jonas. Andre Almeida. Jardel. Over to the left. Here it comes. Oh, he's in! Jonas. Referee has seen that as a dive.
Well, that's just very cynical. For him to think he could get away with it is ugly on his part.
Fernando plays it out to the wing. Belanda. Now it's Mitroglou. Donk. Cuts it out. That was one quality pass away from being a very decent chance. Looked very promising.
That was just poor decision-making and a weak execution.
Jonas. Linus. Forward it goes. Throw in. Fernando, he'll have it in! It's anyone's ball. Salvio displaying his defensive capabilities there. That's no striker's tackle.
Well, they say that your front lads should be that first line of stopping the opposition. And I think he's taken it to another level with his desire to get back and help everyone out.
And it's Mitroglou. Fernando spreads it towards the left. A buccaneering run from the defender. Lovely bit of skill there. Faguli. The score, and we're just about done. A deeply frustrating game. Feisha plays a clever pass. Oh, really good feet from him. Mariano gets good distance on it. And he's there to hoof it away. We have got changes here from both sides, in fact. Feisha, Jonas, it's a good run that, great timing. Gumush, great strength, too strong for his opponent. Salvio, good run, ultimately thwarted by an astute piece of defending. The crowd appreciates good football all round there. It's being played forward. Galatasaray still contemplating when to use their last remaining substitute. Pincy. It'll be a throw-in. And here's a change that was in the offing. Last one allowed. Plays it out to the flank. Lovely feet. Puts it into the middle. Looking to shoot! Well, he should have done better, and he knows it.
Rafa Silva did give it a fair old crack, and he'll be encouraged to step up again.
Benfica making another change here. Offside, I think. Yes, it is.
Jonas only needed to check his run slightly, and he was in the clear. That will annoy the manager. They're making themselves too predictable here.
Now it's Mitroglou. Mitroglou is fouled. Oh, what a goal! Sumptuous finish, an absolute joy!
Well, what a sickener that is for the opposition. There really isn't much time to get a goal back now. Talking about drama.
Oh, that is a bit special. When the manager called on him, he was only too happy to repay that fate.
Well, the instruction from the manager would have been, go on and make yourself a nuisance and see if you can snatch a goal. Mission accomplished.
A 1-0 lead established.
Yeah, it's been their hard work that has got them this lead, but I just wonder whether they can keep it up. This may take a toll now.
Played out to the right. Now it's Salvio.
Peter, they have to fight the onset of...
Little doubt, that is a foul. Oh, no messing about, it is red. Well, this is worrying. He is not the sort of player who tends to stay down. Benfica are down to 10 men. Donk. Hardly anything between the sides, and the score is 1-0. Gets wrestled off the ball. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge.
This is good ball retention, and it should be enough from here, but they want to double their advantage.
Now it's Jonas. Jonas can shoot here. He's gone for it! They've done it!
And it's another really good show of character. I love the spirit and togetherness they muster. Never know when they're beaten. Well, those two have a lovely understanding, and they executed the 1-2 impeccably to set up the goal.
has certainly made things interesting.
Yeah, it's always a dangerous time when you've just scored. You can easily lose focus and then bang, you're pegged back again. Galatasaray merit full marks for their attitude and application in trying to win this. It means an awful lot, obviously.
Big chance! This could fall anywhere!
Look, this can still go either way. It might be flowing one way, but there's still time for some ebb.
Gumush. Good clearance and very necessary. Dumps it into the... Is it in? Oh, the ball's come loose! And he's got good distance. Who's chasing? Lifting it over, swept, big chance! Oh, it's in! And that has raised the roof! Pretty simple finish in the end. What do you think, Jim?
It's rarely a problem when that much time is afforded in the penalty box. Nobody sensed where the danger was lurking, and the finish was made a lot easier.
Galatasaray take what looks to be a decisive lead.
Well, look, Peter, I feel I've got to stress that there's still time for another, so we can't be too presumptuous yet.
Jonas. Oh, that's neat. Goes for the cross. And it's hoisted clear.
Benfica have a simple task to find something sustained now and keep the pressure on.
Fernando. With official showing that there will be 3 minutes of added time. Almost there, and the players can feel it. It's one! Jonas. Salvia. Brings it forward. Taarabt. And the referee brings it to a close. Galatasaray winners by the odd goal. It really could have gone either way, but a win is a win. Thrilling, nail-biting, perhaps frustrating until the very end, but we do have a winner.
Well, I just think that determination and persistence has paid off handsomely to squeeze the win out of a draw. Sometimes it comes down to grit and desire and the stubbornness to keep plugging away. And this has been great staying power.
And with that, it's time for me to thank Jim Beglin and to wish you a very good evening. Well, we have the most perfect day for you. A warm hello in every sense of the word. The sun is out and football has a special place on this most idyllic of days. A fixture ahead of us to which we've all been looking forward for so very, very long, and it means so very, very much. The scene could not be more beautiful. The pitch looks terrific. The players are ready to get started, and we cannot wait for the contest that lies ahead. We are in the port city of Porto, and this unmistakably the Estadio do Dragão. Blue, certainly the colour. And the list of names suggests that what we have in front of us here, Jim, is a 3-5-2 formation.
It's a setup that's been enjoying quite a renaissance in recent times, and one that complements the counter-attack very nicely, with 2 strikers, 2 wing-backs, and potentially 2 runners from central midfield. You can understand its attraction because it really can get the numbers into the opposition's box, and equally, it can get the numbers back into your own.
So it's down to business here. The road. Zapata. Breaks on here. And they're not going to make any further progress now. De Roon. Cuts it out. Gets it upfield. And it's Zapata. Now it's Ilicic. Battles to win it back. Looking to break out here. Now it's Zapata. He's made sure that that won't get through. Gets good distance on it. Chip through. Now the counter. The assistant referee rightly gives him offside.
Yeah, he was off, ever so slightly, but he was off.
Pretty cagey early on from both sides. Keeper's got good distance on that. And it's got through. That is terrific skill. Forward it goes. A real chance to break. It's got through. Looks to clip it forward. Now it's Zapata. Oh, that's a foul, and the whistle's gone. It's not taken him long, and that's going to be a booking. The players are making their point, but the ref clearly isn't interested. He's waved them all away. That was asking just too much of him. Aimed long and direct.
No efforts on target is acceptable if levels of enthusiasm and energy are good, and they're not.
Throw in. Ilicic. Zapata. And the finish!
Oh, that's a sparkling save, absolutely sparkling. His reflexes were ultra sharp.
Keep on coming, they're awarded another corner. And it's been taken short. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Tries a header! Trying. The outcome could so easily have been different.
Duvan Zapata did give it a fair old crack, and he'll be encouraged to step up again. Atalanta are totally dominant in the middle of the park, a no-way through zone.
Keeper goes long. Chance to break. Must score! Dashing forward at pace. It's got through to him. There really wasn't very much in that. Not far away from being a telling final ball.
Krasnodar seemed to have chosen a tougher route through the middle.
And Zapata! Goal! And Atalanta go in front. Just so calm under pressure.
Duvan Zapata demonstrated great strength there. I mean, he really had to hold his man off and just create enough room for him to be able to get the shot away. And I think it's just top play.
Atalanta break the deadlock.
Well, just listen to the reaction. I think you can hear the approval from the support all around the stadium.
Hardly anything between the sides, and it's 1-0. No way through there. De Roon. Zapata. The ball needed to be better there, it's a wasted chance. Josip Ilicic. Hoists it high. Here it comes. Managed to get it away. Oh, it's taken out. That'll be a foul. And no surprise, that's a booking. Towards the flank. on the back foot.
Well, it's a crossing feast.
Goes for goal! Great build-up. It all deserved a better ending.
Well, there are a few pockets of space that are being exploited, and they need filling, and fast.
That is a poor kick by the keeper, being intercepted. Plays it out to the flank. Could move up a gear here. Ball's come loose and the chase is on. Atalanta leading by 1 and looking very comfortable on it. Good challenge, he just stood firm. And it's Ilicic. Keeps everyone guessing. The defence got the better of him this time, but I'm sure he'll go again.
Too much elaboration and not enough penetration. No damage likely.
Oh, great defending, that needed doing. Just brushed off the ball there. Looking for space out wide. And he just whacks it away. Oh, he's got a crucial block in there. He can get that clear. And there's the end of the first half. So there you have it, a close-fought half of football, but one that still had its moments, but ultimately produced just 1 goal. A more than decent game up to now. Any strong opinions on the first half?
Peter, this is far from a lost cause. Yes, they've been hit once by a pacey opposition, but they've asserted more control and look capable.
Atalanta, the happier of the teams, heading in for half-time, 1-0 up. Whistle goes, and we start the second half. A solitary goal, that has been the crucial difference. Lobs it in gently, and he's whipped it in low. Zapata trying to play it through.
Zapata encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
Here it comes. Oh, well played. He's taken that really cleanly. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. It's a very good battle there, terrific to watch. The shot's on! He has done it!
Well, it certainly livened things up a bit, and that next goal now is absolutely crucial. Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they've perfected that on the training ground because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front. They really commit forward in numbers too. It was all very well drilled.
Krasnodar grabbed the equaliser, and we're all square.
Well, what a convincing response to going behind. They've got all the momentum now.
Atalanta going about it patiently, perhaps too patiently.
This defence just doesn't trust itself to play a higher line.
Frightened of people getting in behind.
Yeah, absolutely. It just opens up the opportunity.
That looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. Ref's been lenient here. I doubt he'll get too many more chances. Has a hit! That is wayward.
Well, that's why we all say indecision is fatal.
It's Gomez. Darone. Ilicic! Saved only by poor finishing.
Josip Ilicic certainly caught it well enough, but that was never really going to trouble the keeper.
Tries to stroke it through, gets it back. No foul, says the referee. Plays it out to the wing. Ilicic looks to get on the end of this. Zapata. Oh, well intercepted, really alert to the danger. Ilicic plays it short. Another corner. Any better luck this time round? And that's been levered clear. He's gone for it! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
Well, that was high-class goalkeeping there to back up his high-class wage.
Help's available out wide. Oh, he's in! I think that's offside. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's a good spot and a good call.
Atalanta may be thinking about substitutions now. They still have two available. Gets it upfield. He acknowledges that he should have come up with something better there.
Peter, his body shape was a giveaway before he made the pass, and its obviousness was appreciated.
Now it's Zapata. Clearance and very necessary. Did well to step in there. That was more than necessary. Played out to the right, and the counter is on. Zapata dinks one in. Now a chance to break. And it's Ilicic. Played back in. Chance to shoot. He'll have a dip. Oh, Well, terrific run to latch onto it, but the finish is all wrong.
It didn't quite come off on this occasion, but it only needs a gentle tweak.
Checks on the touchline, a change about to occur. That's a foul. Simple decision for the referee. Sparta, the road. And he's there to hoof it away. Tries to get it forward quickly. It's gone a long way up and away. Back of the net! And again they hit the front. Lovely goal, perfect poise to set himself for the strike. Well, it's an inspired substitution, terrific move by the boss.
That's how you make an impact as a sub. You know, when most are tiring, you can impose a freshness and energy to best effect. What an introduction.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
Look, I just think they've kept at it, got their reward. Now they need to hang on to it. Krasnodar are actually displaying tremendous fighting spirit. There's a real belief that they can still have a say.
Now can he finish? Knocks it away. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. What a throw in. Clayson. Lovely bit of skill. Gets it into the middle. And that's been levered clear. And the shot! That really should have hit the net.
Krasnodar really have been deserted by their composure and allowed frustration to take over, and it's not a good sign.
Clayson picks it up from the goal kick. Just 5 minutes left. It is just a question of running down the clock now. Lovely feet. Played into space out wide.
Krasnodar have a simple task to find something sustained now and keep the pressure on.
He's through the middle. Now it's Sparta. Nicely controlled.
Yeah, it's safe to say that they just need to manage this to secure the win now.
Keeper's got good distance on that. Well, they could break here. Out wide to the right. And it's got through. Nice touch. Chance for a cross, maybe now or never. Cut out in the nick of time. Over to the left. And now the breakaway. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Tries lifting it over. Looking for space out wide. And it's hoisted clear. So, the manager making the last of his changes.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the efforts he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
Shoots! Good stop, that wasn't easy.
Well, what can I say? Truly wonderful goalkeeping.
At his watch and blows his whistle. Well, whatever the shortcomings on either side, it was a great game to watch, just one between them. How do you look back on the game then, Jim?
Atalanta really have a team of the right chemistry, Peter, and it paid off handsomely here. You won't find any test tubes in this bunch.
Well, that's the lot for now. Thanks to you, Jim, and goodbye. Well, good evening to you, wherever you are in the world. We are just about ready for the action here. Kickoff is imminent. The team's indeed with us very soon, having exchanged their various pleasantries. What I have to tell you is that the weather may not be great for the duration of the evening. The clouds yet to open, but one suspects that they will pretty shortly, and when the rain comes, we are warned to expect plenty of it. It is a venue this which simply adds to the spectacle of the game it stages. One of the most impressive arenas in this part of the world. It appears to be a 4-4-2 formation, Jim.
Well, what I like about this system, Peter, is the way in which both central midfielders have to work in tandem. If one opts to go forward, the other sits, and when one moves either side to snuff out an attack, the other will hold the central ground. Communication is obviously vital to make it a success, but this team knows what it's doing, and I think we're going to see that reflected.
There's the whistle. Who do you, Jim, see making the difference here?
Well, I would say one of the most energetic midfielders you'll find in Jordan Henderson. He's added to all that running power with slicker passing and some very impressive finishing, and he's a proper leader now too.
Well, quite no argument from me on that one. And he heaves it forward. Henderson gets rid without sophistication. Liverpool have been scoring with pleasing consistency. Goals in each of the last 5 games. Keeper's got good distance on that. Sturridge pushes it out wide. Now it's Mohamed Salah. He's made sure that that won't get through. And he's going long. Van Dijk can hoist it clear. Now it's Sturridge. Wijnaldum. Ball's loose, who's getting there? Sturridge goes looking. The defence can get it clear. And it's Salah. Defence has got rid of that. Wasn't very far from making something happen by himself. Lovely to see. Now it's Piatti. That's clear cut. It's a free kick. Gomez knocks it away. Wijnaldum.
Liverpool have pushed both fullbacks into quite advanced positions here.
Yeah, it's Sturridge! He's done very well to get to that.
Sturridge is very sporting here to acknowledge the quality of the save. A lovely little footballing moment.
Good distance on it. Oh, well intercepted, really alert to the danger. That looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. Just a talking to, I think. Yes, it is. Mohamed Salah! And it's been taken short. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Loose. Matip. Neither side yet able to find the net. Now it's Mohamed Salah. Henderson. Now it's Sturridge. And the flag has stayed down. Piatti tries to get it forward quickly. He's found his man. Now it's Sergio Garcia! Oh, great save, real class.
Oh, that's a sparkling save, absolutely sparkling. His reflexes were ultra sharp.
Away from immediate danger. Defending, albeit from an unexpected source.
I think it's great to see that kind of application and desire from a forward who wants to help out his defence. I think, you know, any good team, really, your striker should be the first line of that defence, and he's delivering.
Jordan Henderson. Just brushed off the ball there. And it's Henderson. Fabinho plays it forward. Mohamed Salah plays it out to the flank. Mane. Big chance, corner. Massive leap! Oh, not the best of headers.
All he'll be thinking is, please, ground, swallow me up.
Van Dijk gathers from the goal kick. Forward it goes. Mane takes the long option. Oh, and he's got good distance. Who's chasing? Played it short. Turns and goes back. Managed to get it away. Aimed long and direct. Mohamed Salah wanders offside.
Well, he now knows that he has to lock in the timing. Success and failure depends on it.
Forward it goes. Van Dijk boots it to safety. That is as far as they're going to go. Piatti battles to win it back. Tries to get it forward quickly. Well positioned to make that interception. Matip plays it forward. Wijnaldum. Jordan Henderson. Now it's Sturridge. Played out to the right. Surely a shot. Has a hit! And he's there to make a great save.
Well, that was high-class goalkeeping there to back up his high-class wage.
Forward it goes. And he's made certain that won't get through. Wijnaldum. Now it's Sturridge. And it's Sturridge. Aimed long and direct. Sergio Garcia spreads it towards the left. There's no flag. That is terrific skill. Play, and it is a goal kick. He's through. Can he score? And he's done it! Half-time rapidly approaching. That could be a big one. Well, from right in front of goal, there was no way he was going to miss.
Well, he made it obvious as to where the pass should be played, Peter, and it made the finish look that bit easier.
Deadlock broken, it's 1-0.
Well, just listen to the reaction. I think you can hear the approval from the support all around the stadium.
Sturridge. And it's Gomez. Gomez. Looks to thread it through. Henderson gets into a good position. And he's straight offside.
Just, it seems, but just is enough.
Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Piatti. And that'll be the last act of the first half. So there you have it, a close-fought half of football, but one that still had its moments. It ultimately produced just one goal. A more than decent game up to now.
Well, you obviously have to give credit to the front men for the half-time lead, but I think the midfield can really pat themselves on the back too. They worked tirelessly for me.
Leading a cagey game here. It's had its moments, and it's 1-0 at the break. And we're off again.
Well, 1-0 may be good enough, so they may err on the side of caution and get more players behind the ball instead of running beyond it. They could even try to spoil it from here, we'll see.
It's a throw. Wijnaldum. Chance to shoot. It's gone a long way up and away. And now they can launch a counter. And it's Piatti. Dinks one in. Simon Mignolet deals with it effortlessly. Mane. Robertson. Lobs it in gently. Knocks it away. Deep cross. And out it comes again. Liverpool get it back again. Tries to dink it in. And he just whacks it away. Henderson. Tries lifting it over. Mane. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. Piatti gets it back. Tries to stroke it through. Mane. And it's Sturridge. It's Sturridge! Oh, he did the hard part right, but fluffed the finish.
That was created because of good, lively movement, which pretty much dictated the pass.
Now it's Sergio Garcia. And it's Javi Lopez. Sergio Garcia, out wide to the right. That's not the cross he had in mind. Fabinho. Gomez. Now it's Sturridge. So Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, this lead is beginning to look a little delicate. I'd rather see them show the ambition and adventure to go further ahead. But it seems as if they settle for a riskier approach now to defend this.
Mohamed Salah. And it's Sturridge. Now it's Mane. Liverpool really are defending from the front.
They are, and this type of pressing is a case of counter-attacking a counter-attack. It's high octane and high pressure, high fitness.
Robertson. Mane. He's gone out for a throw-in. There is some activity down on the touchline. It seems there's going to be a change. That's a foul, no two ways about it. It's a straight red. He has been given his marching orders. Liverpool are down to 10 men. And it's Sergio Garcia. Plays it out to the wing. Piatti. Doesn't get the pass he's looking for. Mane. The breakthrough came in the final moments of the first period, and the score is 1-0. Jordan Henderson. First substitutions will be coming up pretty soon.
Liverpool are definitely going about this the right way.
Well, hit and hope is just about the sum of it, isn't it, Jim?
Well, there's no two ways about it. This is what they have to do.
Liverpool have chosen to bring on the last of their substitutes. So we have a double substitution going on here. Little doubt, that is a foul. That's a booking, always looked it. Sergio Garcia is the guilty party there. Matip goes looking. Robertson. Jordan Henderson. Robertson. And it's Origi. And it's got through. And that's not going to reach.
Liverpool are definitely not going down without a scrap. Their attitude just can't be faulted.
Forward it goes. Piatti. Decent progress down the left. He's got away. That's sprayed out wide. Oh, he's not going to get that.
There's a real appetite from them to finally put this game to bed, but will they?
Back into the middle.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
The ball needed to be better there. It's a wasted chance. Robertson. Now it's Sturridge. That's a piece. Sturridge! Oh, that could cost them.
Well, the lead may be fragile, but the keeper was focused and strong.
So not long left in this now. Liverpool have been on a terrific scoring streak, but they are now under serious threat of drawing a blank. Gets his foot in there. Origi. Just 5 minutes left. Just a few more moments for them to hang on. Shaqiri. Sturridge. The shot's on!
Look, with time running out, they have to get the ball in the penalty box, and if it means a long punt, then so be it. They've got to give themselves a chance.
Javi Lopez. And it's Sergio Garcia.
I think it's time for them to concentrate on closing this one out.
That'll be a throw-in. And that's it. Terrific contest. It really might have tipped either way. The margins were tiny, just a goal in it, but that was enough.
Well, that was a hard-fought win with a defensive masterclass. They backed up their goal with a resilience that was first class.
And with that, it's time for me to thank Jim Beglin and to wish you a very good evening. Well, a very good evening to you on what is pretty close to an ideal evening for football. There is barely a cloud evident. The world and his wife have gone to great lengths to be here for a match of great consequence and massive interest in these parts. Barely a breath of wind, so the football has no excuses for not being at its very best. The teams I know are pumped for this. There are fantastic scenes in the stands. There is a great sense of drama here, a great sense of excitement and expectation. Well, this really is a great venue. It adds so much character to every game it stages. How are you reading this formation, Jim Begley?
Well, the lone striker has to be prepared to do some of the work himself, but essentially he needs two of the three central midfielders to make runs beyond him and trust that the wide men can service the penalty box and make those link-up runs from out to in. He should get plenty of support with this setup.
And we're underway. Manchester have the league's best defensive record. Has he picked him out? Oh, good interception. He's come loose. Across the line, and it's a throw. Rashford. That's an untidy challenge. Free kick given. It's not taken him long, and that's going to be a booking. Just whacks it away. It'll be a throw-in. It's gone a long way up and away. And it's Juan Mata. Mata plays it out to the wing. And it's got through. And he heaves it forward. Now the counter. Looking for space out wide. He's got away. Defence has got rid of that. Out for a throw. Gets the chance to cross. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Up to meet it! He's missed, but not by that far. He gets! He's done very well to get to that.
Oh, that's a sparkling save. Absolutely sparkling. His reflexes were ultra sharp.
Good ball. Rashford beats the offside trap. Now it's Ashley Young. Aimed long and direct. Looking to break out here. Alexis Sanchez. Gets it back. Sanchez has been caught there, it's a foul. Been fouled there. Well, he knows very well that he is already walking a tightrope. Well, that looks like a final warning, still no card.
Yeah, and he's dodged a big one there. He has to be squeaky clean from here.
Mata! And that is quite wonderful! Oh, it really is a finish of the highest order! Dispatched expertly, nicely done. Manchester go ahead, 1 goal to the good. Sparta Prague going about it patiently, perhaps too patiently. Great leap! This could fall anywhere. The referee's awarded a free kick. Ashley Young cuts it out. Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. It's being played forward. It's got through and... Hogberg can hoist it clear. It's gone for a throw-in. Marcos Rojo. Hardly anything between the sides. And it's 1-0. Ashley Young. Valencia tried to play it through.
Was too timid to make it through the defence. It'll be noted and improved upon, I'm sure.
He certainly caught him there. It's a free kick. Plays it back. Alexis Sanchez! No, not quite.
They're probably getting frustrated by the lack of chances, I suppose.
Oh, he's caught him there, it's a free kick. Pushes it out wide. He's got, is it in? Really well taken goal.
Oh, that was a cracking little exchange to set up the finish, and a lovely understanding between both players. I mean, that's clearly tailored on the training ground and delivered beautifully on match day.
That has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Oh, I think the coach will really be annoyed with that. The players were still thinking about their goal and just got caught napping.
Out to the left it goes. Going through. Crunching tackle. No foul, says the referee. Halfway through the first period, and it's looking quite a game here. And he's got good distance. Who's chasing? Could move up a gear here. Now it's Pogba. Over to the left. Forward it goes. Played out to the right. Oh, he's in! And he's onside. And a shot! Defending, albeit from an unexpected source.
Well, they say that your front lads should be that first line of stopping the opposition, and I think he's taken it to another level with his desire to get back and help everyone out.
Timely intervention. Yet another to add to football's endless list of could-haves and should-haves.
That was just poor decision-making and a weak execution.
Well read, he sorted that out. Mata. Ashley Young. Matic. Clips one through. Played into space out wide. It's a goal kick. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. And it's Sanchez. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. And he is going into that little black book. Out of harm's way. Ashley Young goes looking. Alexis Sanchez. Who's ball? Who's going to get there? Oh, it's Matic. Looking to shoot. It's anyone's ball. Steered forward, chance to break. Pogba. Alexis Sanchez. He's left his man. And it's Matic. Matic plays a clever pass. And it's hoisted clear. Tries to get it forward quickly. Ashley Young plays it forward. Mata. Matic. And the first 45 minutes are up. Genuinely interesting game here. Very, very watchable. 2 goals, 1 each. So there was the first half.
Oh, what a half of football. It's 1-1, but it could easily be 3-3 or more. Breakneck speed brilliance.
That's a really interesting game, and they head in at half-time at 1-1. There's the whistle then to start the second half.
Oh, I thought
change to either side during the break. Phil Jones tries to get it forward quickly. Ashley Young. Aimed long and direct. Knocks it away. Breaks on here. Oh, he's got a crucial block in there. And he's made certain that won't get through. And it's Dodgka. Knocks one in. Too long, and over the line. Now it's Sanchez. Valencia. Valencia looks to clip it forward. Sanchez crosses in a low one. Matic. Bit of an appeal, but nothing doing. Valencia goes looking. And we're not going to make any further progress now. Corner given. Mata boots it to safety. And that's not going to reach. Out wide to the right. He's got options out wide. Matic. Gets up to head it! Good delivery, but no joy.
Well, plenty of moving targets to pick out in the box. Obviously increases your chances of the ball being met like that by someone.
To the keeper. Here it comes. Rashford has a shot! Into the lead once more. He was really quick to react to the initial save, and he has his reward.
Oh, Peter, you can't teach that. You either have it or you don't. His anticipation is on another level to everyone else's. Superb.
Manchester get themselves into the lead. Dotchkal. Danger averted for now. Oh, that's nice. The defence can get it clear. And now the finish! Turns and goes back. Tries lifting it over. And that's been levered clear.
Sparta Prague showing a little more urgency now, and to be honest, Peter, this is what's required.
Well, hit and hope is just about the sum of it, isn't it, Jim?
Spot on, Peter.
He's in, surely! Can he deliver? One matter. Forward it goes. And it's Rashford. With a delicate ball.
Peter, they have to fight the onset of desperation and keep enough cool heads to still deliver.
Referee's given a throw. We have got changes here from both sides, in fact.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the efforts he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
He's gone down, but the referee just tells him to get back up again.
Manchester are clearly looking to kill this game off. It's keeping the ball away from the other end too.
And a shot! It's broken loose! And that has been clubbed away.
Sparta Prague are actually displaying tremendous fighting spirit. There's a real belief that they could still have a say.
Rashford. Mata. Floats one over. Rashford. Great! Surely this time! And he's there to hoof it away.
It's obvious that they prefer a greater cushion to sit on, but will they?
Plays it out to the flank. And it's got through. Looking for space out wide. Header! And oh, he's got that completely wrong. Both sides then taking this chance to turn to their benches. There's a long ball. He's gone for it! Great ball to play him in, but he will be gutted to miss that.
Oh, the weight on the ball was just perfect then. If only they could have come up with a finish to match.
Plays it out to the wing. Get a throw in. Matter. Manchester just have to run down the clock. That always looked inevitable. The defence dealt with that really well. Rojo gets into the right position to intercept. Damian. Confirmation that there will be 2 minutes stoppage time. Tries to get it forward quickly. Hefty. That's clear cut. It's a free kick. And the referee brings it to a close. Well, whatever the shortcomings on either side, it was a great game to watch, just one between them. So, Jim, how do you reflect on what we've seen?
I think it's all about setting the right tone at the start of a match, and if you can back that up with an early goal, it just energises everybody, the whole performance, and I think they were certainly more fluid as a result of the early goal.
And with that, it's time for me to thank Jim Beglin and to wish you a very good evening. Well, a very good evening to you on what is pretty close to an ideal evening for football. There is barely a cloud evident. The world and his wife have gone to great lengths to be here for a match of great consequence and massive interest in these parts. Barely a breath of wind, so the football has no excuses for not being at its very best. The teams I know are pumped for this. They are fantastic scenes in the stands. There is a great sense of drama here, a great sense of excitement and expectation. The Camp Nou once again decorated in the colours of Barcelona. This is what greets the players every time. Jim, how are you reading the formation?
Yeah, Peter, you can look at this formation 1 minute and think that it is 4-3-3, and the next time you check it'll be 4-5-1, and it's all to do with whether you've got the ball or not, and the wider attacking players being asked to apply defensive discipline too. When it does turn to a 5 across midfield, then the shape of this team takes on a much tidier, compact defensive look.
And that gets things running. So, Jim, tell me this, who are you looking for in particular here?
The elusive quality of Marco Reus. Because of his inward running, fullbacks don't want to follow him all the way, and centre-backs don't want to step out to try and confront him. So he gets himself into great finishing positions, and he's now become a top finisher.
Yes, he's certainly the one who carries the hopes of his team. Real chance! Dahoud. Luis Suarez. Lucas Piszczek. Now a chance to break. Mario Götze. Dahoud. That's been intercepted, and that will come to nothing. Philippe Coutinho. Lobs it in gently. Jordi Alba looking to get on the end of this. It's a loose ball. PK gets wrestled off the ball. Dahoud, a real chance to break. Over to the left. Looks to thread it through. Reus is demanding it out wide. Reus. Ter Stegen and pick that up. Luis Suarez. And he's going long. Pinged one through here. And they're not going to make any further progress now. Looking to break out here. He's had a shot! That really should have hit the net.
Barcelona know they can rely on the counter, and they've just expressed a warning.
Pulisic, right through the middle, and here's the chance to counter. Going through, can he deliver? In towards the middle, and through to the goalkeeper. Barcelona have had plenty of possession, but few, if any, genuine chances. Cuts it out. Keeper's got good distance on that. Gone back to the keeper. Ter Stegen gets it upfield. That's a promising ball. That was one quality pass away from being a very decent chance. Looked very promising.
Barcelona just had to make the ball stick, but came up short.
Mario Götze. And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. And it's Coutinho. Well positioned to make that interception. Coutinho tried to play it through.
The movement was good, but the pass lacked authority, a cause of mild frustration.
Could move up a gear here. Now it's Alcacer.
Dortmund have made some interesting moves in getting their fullbacks to tuck in.
Yeah, bright approach, isn't it?
Yeah, so many fullbacks now just want to get forward, Peter.
Going for goal! And the ball's come out. Messi. In he goes again! Goal! Barcelona!
Barcelona are so well practiced in the art of keeping the ball through wonderful passing and movement, and a real appetite to ensure it's reflected in their goal count.
So we have our breakthrough.
Still a fragile lead though, they can't afford to sit on this.
Tries to get it forward quickly. Good defending there, they've slammed the door in the faces of the opposition. Now it's Rakitic. Suarez plays a clever pass. Rakitic! Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Royce breaks on here. Aimed long and direct. Fine defending there. Alcacer. Ter Stegen sends that a long way.
Barcelona have really been terrific at snuffing out the threat. Now for something different.
Get that clear. He's found his man. Alcacer. And he's on Pulisic! Good clearance and very necessary. Well, looking at that, the defence was beaten. Jordi Alba. Rakitic. Hardly anything between the sides, and it's 1-0. And he's on a charge. Has a hit! Oh, nearly, but nearly is nothing.
That's a little unfortunate. He had a lot of people worried then.
Forward it goes. It's put paid to a promising move. Coutinho. Drilled in low. Deflected behind for a corner kick. And it's been taken short. Throw it. Royce knocks it away. Another throw-in. Big chance here. Dinks one in. That'll go straight through to the keeper. Pulisic. Mario Götze. Played out to the right. Ball's out on the left now. He's got away. Coutinho. Jordi Alba. The ball's come loose and the chase is on. Well, the defence got the better of him this time, but I'm sure he'll go again. Well played, he saw that coming. He's through. Got a shoots! What about it? And this is getting better and better.
Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they perfected that on the training ground because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front, and they really commit forward in numbers too. It was all very well drilled.
Barcelona. The first 45 minutes are up. What have we learned from the first 45 minutes?
Well, it's looking pretty straightforward, Peter. They've got themselves into a very good position, so why dither from here when they can repeat their first half success with another show of strength?
Barcelona in control at half-time, 2-0. Here we go again. Witsel. Pulisic. Here it comes. It's gone a long way up and away. And that has put paid to that. It's Witsel. He goes long. That looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. Just a talking to, I think. Yes, it is. And he just whacks it away. And he's cut it out. This check. He's had a shot. And he's got good distance. Who's chasing?
Barcelona couldn't really be more watertight in midfield. Not a trickle is getting through.
Danger averted for now. Aimed long and direct. There are a few waiting for it. And he heaves it forward.
Dortmund making a fresh attempt to release someone in behind from back to front. And this is something different.
Keeper goes long. Doesn't get the pass he's looking for. And it's Royce. Lucas Piszczek. Witsel. Barcelona with this handy-looking 2-0 lead. They are looking comfortable. Witsel crosses in a low one. Jordi Alba plays it
That's the
forward.
first attempt, Peter, we've seen at one of those raking passes just to spread the play.
Coutinho. He's left his man. Swept in. Cleared without complication. Can't get the better of his opposite number. And that's a foul. Free kick's been given. Piqué gets it back. Ter Stegen sends that a long way. Schmelzer tries to get it forward quickly. Royce looking to get on the end of this. Piqué boots it to safety. Piqué gets it away. Dortmund have it back and they can go again. Plays it out to the wing. Schmelzer. Royce looking to run onto it. Piqué can hoist it clear. Dortmund can make their change now with a break in play.
Well, you have to feel a little for the player being taken off here. I think he's been made the scapegoat after that, but I guess something had to be done. I suppose it did need a little change.
There's the cross. And he just whacks it away. Yeah, he's fouled him there. Made certain that won't get through. Schmelzer. Guerrero. Gomez. Schmelzer. Surely it has a swing at it! Messi. He's got options out wide. Messi fires it, and the shot! Piszczek goes looking. Gomez. I think the first substitutions will be coming up pretty soon. Messi. Jordi Alba. Luis Suarez. Philippe Coutinho. Now it's Luis Suarez. Piszczek with a good steal, well played. And the counter is on. And help's available out wide. Witsel. Shots on! Oh, great defending, that needed doing. And it's Royce. Schmelzer. Guerrero. And he's whipped it. Can he score? That is wayward. Oh, good interception. Now it's Messi. Messi. And it's got through. Out for a throw. Looking for a decent ball in. Delivers across. Gets good distance on it. And it's Messi. Coutinho. It's a good run that. Great timing. good idea, just poorly executed. Ball's loose, who's getting there? And he's made sure that that won't get through. Forward it goes. Witsel. Gomez. Out to the left it goes. That's one way of trying to make things happen. There's a few who could follow that example. Philippe Coutinho. Now it's Luis Suarez. Suarez spreads it towards the left. Tries lifting it over. Piszczek knocks it away. That'll be a throw. More than happy to take the muscular approach. And that's it. Barcelona away with the win. A job really well done in all departments. A real sum-of-the-parts team effort. So, Jim, how do you reflect on what we've seen?
Barcelona can certainly give themselves a pat on the back for a job well done. They have a togetherness that makes them very hard to beat.
So many thanks to Jim Beglin. That's all we have time for. Good evening to you. Well, a very good evening to you on what is pretty close to an ideal evening for football. There is barely a cloud evident. The world and his wife have gone to great lengths to be here for a match of great consequence and massive interest in these parts. Barely a breath of wind, so the football has no excuses for not being at its very best. The teams I know are pumped for this. They are fantastic scenes in the stands. There is a great sense of drama here, a great sense of excitement and expectation. The Estadio do Dragão in Porto, distinctive in so many ways by comparison with its Lisbon rivals. Lyon have chosen to go 4-3-3. Jim, how do you see it?
Yes, and the importance of this formation is not to allow the midfield three and the attacking three to become too detached from one another. If that happens, then pressure can quickly be applied via the counter-attack, and you can be exposed defensively. So compactness can't be compromised, and you need talkers in this team. You need leaders and people that are willing to organise things very quickly.
And already we're underway here. How do you, Jim, see making the difference here?
I'm going to go for little Leighton Baines, a prolific raider of the left flank and a good crosser. He's also a big threat when it comes to set pieces. I'll give a free kick away and he just might find your top corner.
Yeah, the scourge of so many strikers. That's a throw. Shot at goal! Big relief, it just needed better contact.
Yeah, on another occasion, all that went wrong may come right.
Keane, aimed long and direct. Sigurdsson. And the weighted pass. And he just whacks it away. And it's Coleman. Gets into some space. Heaved to the back post. And it's hoisted clear. Boots it to safety. Denier. Tete. Traore. Tete. Anything noteworthy in the early part of the match, Jim? Traore. Lovely bit of skill. Going through. Clearance and very necessary. So who's he picking out? Whipped in. Baines knocks it away. Played into... up to meet it! Goal! Lyon! And Lyon are in front. That is a fine goal, really efficiently done.
Yeah, I just thought he wanted that more than anyone else on the pitch, and it was fully deserved. He gave it everything he had.
Lyon take the early advantage. Baines. Lyon are very much in charge here, dominating possession and a goal to the good. Coleman. He's got options out wide. Richarlison. Can he put it away? Really well taken goal. They have done it! They have their equaliser! With time and space aplenty, he was never going to miss.
I just think it's clever positioning from clever movement, and when all of that is synchronised with the right pass, that's what happens.
That has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Yeah, it's always a dangerous time when you've just scored. You can easily lose focus and then bang, you're pegged back again.
Well read, he sorted that out. Bernard.
Everton have made it clear what they're trying to do for me, Peter.
What are they trying to do?
Well, I think they're making the pitch as big as possible to work both flanks into better supply routes.
Baines plays it forward. Oh, sweet feet. Delivers across. And that's been levered clear. And it's MacArthur. Shoots! Goal! They've done it! It was coming! They have their reward!
Everton produced a lovely sequence of passes there. It's a terrific brand of football to watch, and importantly, it is a strong end product.
So we have a breakthrough.
Well, unsurprisingly, Peter, the opposition look completely stunned. I'm not sure they can gather themselves.
Fekir. Sigurdsson. It's been intercepted, and that will come to nothing. Forward it goes. And it's hoisted clear. Tosun. McCarthy looking to get on the end of this. He's left his man. He's had a look. And he just whacks it away. Danger averted for now. The referee's awarded a free kick.
Well, I think the alternative was to stand there and do nothing while he tried to score, and obviously he's not going to allow that, Peter, is he?
There could be trouble here, but for now the referee is keeping his cards in his pocket. Sigurdsson! And the defence can get it clear. Sigurdsson looks to dink one in. It's gone for a throw-in. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. Well, that looks like a final warning, still no card. To safety. And it's Jagielka. Now it's Bernard. And he's there to hoof it away. Well positioned to make that interception. Fekir. Traore.
Yeah, that's top defending and preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
Over to the left. Lyon are still behind as we reach out for half-time. Tries to stroke it through. Fires it in low. He's had a shot! And it's hoisted clear. Oh, and he's got good distance. Who's chasing? But Jelka has been caught there. It's a foul. Jelka. Idrissa Gueye does have an assist to his name. Baines cuts it out. Fakir. Sigurdsson gets it back. Tries to get it forward quickly.
Oh, super tackle. They were outnumbered and under the cosh. That had to be spot on, and it was.
He's got the ball, he's got the space. Get that clear. And the first 45 minutes are up. So a really good half of football. 3 goals and just one separating them. And we are up to the break.
Well, give me a moment to get my breath back. What a super half of football. Incident-packed, goals, comebacks, and the match being turned on its head. Which way it's going to go from here, it's anyone's guess.
Whistle goes, and we start the second half.
Lyon need to get the balance right to sort this out. Ambition must be complemented by just the right amount of caution. I think the more experienced players can oversee that.
He's made sure that that won't get through. Now it's Fakir. He's got away. Surely he scores. And that's been levered clear. Defending, albeit from an unexpected source.
I think it's great to see that kind of application and desire from a forward who wants to help out his defence. I think, you know, any good team, really, your striker should be the first line of that defence, and he's delivering.
James McCarthy. Richarlison. Lovely feet. Neat exchange. Going for goal! That is wayward.
Well, Peter, he clearly felt he was being invited to shoot, and it wasn't the worst decision he could have made.
Tosun, Richarlison, Memphis Depay battles to win it back. Defending was physical, no nonsense, and it had to be. And it's Memphis Depay.
They're actually not getting too tight, which is interesting.
No.
It's probably cautionary. Don't dive in, try to pinch it or intercept so nobody can get in.
It's one! Going after it, he slid it through. Keane gets rid without sophistication. He's been bundled over, that is a foul. It's been lenient here, and he'll get too many more chances. Baines gets good distance on it. Fekir, played out to the right. And he's whipped it in low. It's gone a long way up and away.
Lyon showing a little more urgency now, and to be honest, Peter, this is what's required.
Well, hit and hope is just about the sum of it, isn't it, Jim?
Spot on, Peter.
Tosun, not easily shrugged. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. He just whacks it away. Lyon may be thinking about substitutions now. They still have 2 available. And it's Memphis Depay. Memphis Depay. It's a decent-looking cross. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Away from immediate danger. Memphis Depay. And it's got through. Jelka boots it to safety. Stuck out a leg for a good challenge. Denier. And it's Tete. Deftly done. Baines can hoist it clear. Belts it on the volley. Could fall kindly. Oh, taken with style.
Oh, this is a real show of character. Rather than let their heads drop, they've stood proud and fought hard. Brilliant.
Memphis Depay did well there. He was onto it in a trice.
Well, listen, last line of defence and you don't get it right, then you're paying a visit to your net.
Quite a thriller this one's become.
Well, what a convincing response to going behind. They've got all the momentum now.
Richarlison. James McCarthy. Played into space out wide. Tete. It's Traore. That's the throw. Lyon are able now to make their substitution. It's been on the cards for a few moments now. Tosun spreads it towards the left. Idrissa Gueye. Oh, that's nice. Tosun. Cleared without complication. Plays it out to the wing. He's left his man. Memphis Depay. Keane knocks it away.
Lyon showing a good level of intensity at this stage. They're calling on all their resources now.
Can't get the better of his opposite number. No question, that's a foul. Clears it out of harm's way. McCarthy, aimed long and direct. Coleman, and the finish! No mistake! into the lead once more.
Well, look, that first touch and finish is the difference between good players and great players. There aren't too many about who can give you that. I loved it.
Everton take the lead.
Yeah, it's been their hard work that has got them this lead, but I just wonder whether they can keep it up. This may take a toll now.
Went in for a slide tackle and executed it cleanly. Some excellent tackling here, and that one a perfect example. Richarlison. Keane. Well, if something's got to happen, it's going to happen now.
Well, it's looking like too little too late, but they are giving it all they have.
Tosun, more than happy to take the muscular approach.
Everton are looking to make this one safe. They want to reduce the risk.
Fekir plays it out to the flank. Dinks one in. Crosses it in low. Coleman boots it to save. The shot's on! That's a half-decent try.
Yeah, he may have snatched at that a bit, even though it was quite close.
Changes on both sides, actually. Just brushed off the ball there. Out wide to the right. Looks to clip it forward. And that has been clubbed away. Tries one! In it goes! They have stolen level at the last!
The first touch was absolutely heavenly, and because of it, the finish was a mere formality.
He's made it two, and no doubt he's hungry for more. So all square with almost no time remaining. Coleman. Confirmation that there will be 2 minutes stoppage time. And it's McCarthy. Tosun. Keane. Lookman. Here it comes. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. Everton have chosen to bring on the last of their substitutes.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has done him a big favour, I think, by taking him off. You know, he was looking very, very leggy.
Added time is up, and there goes the whistle. What a game, wonderful stuff, and the right result. Neither side really deserved to lose. So what do you take away from it all, Jim?
Well, neither side could get over the line here. Perhaps one team might be happier, but at the final reckoning, it's honours even and no complaints.
So many thanks to Jim Beglin. That's all we have time for. Good evening to you. Good evening wherever you are on this most pleasant evening. There has been a clamour to get inside the ground tonight for a much anticipated game. The roads outside of the stadium have been bumper to bumper with traffic. The car parks are full. There is a torrent of humankind making its way from the nearby station, and we expect every seat to be filled. An atmosphere of great expectation and excitement. And we have in front of us this gloriously imposing arena, absolutely picture perfect for a game of this nature. How are you reading this formation, Jim Beglin?
Well, if you want to secure a clean sheet, Peter, this is a very good way of going about it. It adds discipline and lends a stubbornness to that midfield, which can stifle opposition attempts to play through, and it takes a lot of pressure off your defence, of course. Forces longer passes through the aerial route. So, all things considered, that extra layer across midfield is highly, highly effective.
So, it's away we go then. Ajax really have been poor at home lately. 5 games here without a win. Beautifully done. The ball's come loose and the chase is on. Ball's loose and he's after it. The ball has crossed the line and it's a throw. Krasnodar. Ekdal plays it out to the flank. Defrel. Well played, he saw that coming. Blint. Tries to get it forward quickly. And it's Veltman. Ziyech. Pings it out wide. Ziyech. It's a good foot in there.
Just to point out, Peter, that the fullbacks are quite high.
And what are they trying to achieve?
Well, it's obviously a move to put...
He's been bundled over, that is a foul. It's not taking him long, and that's going to be a booking. Tadic! Tadic. Thinks he's got rid of that. Got a throw in. And he just whacks it away. Plays a clever pass. What an adventurous run from a defender. And that's been won straight back. And that's been levered clear. And the shot! Defrel looking to break out here. He's got through. Defrel. Defrel! Quagliarella, it's Quagliarella! Big relief, it just needed better contact.
He trapped it expertly, Peter, and released it very differently.
And it's Tadic. Ziyech. Goalless, but it is not without interest.
Yeah, and it's been like a breath of fresh air to their attack. I think that switching of flanks has finally created a new and for me, much more dangerous dimension.
It's on a plate. It's good distance on it.
Yeah, that's top defending and preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
There's a bit of penetration to go with all this possession. Referee's given a throw. Defrel. Sampdoria. Aimed long and direct. Went in for a slide tackle and executed it cleanly. Nothing wrong with that tackle, ball won cleanly. That's nice. And it's hoisted clear. Here comes another cross. And he just whacks it away. That'll be a throw. Saponara. Now it's Quagliarella. Chip through. Quagliarella hits it! Saved only by poor finishing.
All he'll be thinking is, please, ground, swallow me up.
And it's Tadic. Tries lifting it over. Knocks it away. Dortmund gets it back. Trout, he's had a go! It's a carbon copy of their previous miss.
This is proving to be a very good spell. The intensity is great, but they've got to make it count.
Quagliarella. Back into the middle. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Tadic absolutely focused then on the defensive side of his game.
You have to admire commitment like that, because he could easily ignore that and just kind of walk around and let others do all the chasing. But instead, he looks as if he relishes the chance to dig in for his team here.
It's an entertaining game, this. Both teams have had chances, but it is still 0-0. Quagliarella! Good stop, that wasn't easy.
Quagliarella simply didn't do anything wrong. He was thwarted by brilliance.
And it's Tadic. Out to the left it goes. Nicely controlled. Hit into the middle. Get that clear. Clears it out of harm's way. Sampdoria to retain the ball, but are seemingly in no rush to break forward. Quagliarella with a delicate ball. Oh, really good feet from him. Boots it to safety. Now it's Quagliarella! The captain delivers!
Oh, that's very, very well played by the skipper. He was only too aware of the importance of a goal at this late stage in the first half. He knew it would affect the teams, all part of the thought process from someone in his position. Sampdoria are certainly a team that knows how to play their football as stylishly as you'll see. Tiki-taka at its very best, and they back it up with goals.
Sampdoria get themselves into the lead.
Yeah, this is also a chance to see what happens to...
And it's half-time here. There we are, off they go for half-time. The breakthrough did indeed come in the first half, but there has only been that one goal. It is very, very tight.
Well, it hasn't exactly gone to plan so far, but there's no need to panic. There's still plenty of time to get back into this. As always, an early goal would help swing things back in their favour.
Underway again.
I
Ajax need to get the balance right to sort this out. Ambition must be complemented by just the right amount of caution, and I think the more experienced players can oversee that.
Sampdoria.
Well, that looks a foul. Yeah, referee's given it. Well, that looks like a final warning. Still no card.
Quagliarella will simply have to tip his hat to the keeper here, because that was a magnificent save.
Blint.
Ziyech.
Tadic looking to run onto it. Trying to play it through.
Oh, that just required a bit more oomph to reach its target.
That's the throw.
Sampdoria.
Quagliarella. Must score! Gets it upfield.
And it's Ziyech.
Ajax still behind thanks to that solid... Oh, that's a foul. Free kick's been given. Gets it back.
Ziyech.
Plays it out to the wing. Oh, he's in! Tonelli plays it towards the front. Ajax have a free kick. And it's hoisted clear. That's offside. Yes, it is.
Oh, we're talking fractions.
So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Ajax have not got very long if they hope to rescue this. They're being urged forward by great home support, but they need something to go their way pretty soon, Peter.
Ajax may be thinking about substitutions now. They still have two available. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. And the ball's come out. Oh, Safran shoots!
Oh, it's die-hard defence and the willingness to put his body on the line. Very impressive. This defence just doesn't trust itself to play a higher line.
Frightened of people getting in behind.
Yeah, absolutely. It just opens up the opportunity of not only strikers getting behind, but the runners from midfield too.
Defending, albeit from an unexpected source.
Well, they say that your front lads should be that first line of stopping the opposition, and I think he's taken it to another level with his desire to get back and help everyone out.
Ajax chosen to bring on the last of their substitutes. So we have a double substitution going on here.
That's what has to be done now, no question about it.
Jim, there's not too much subtlety or sophistication about this. It really is a question of needs must.
Just has to be done.
Forward it goes. Ball's out on the left now. Clearance very necessary. Schöner. Oh, sweet feet. Hoists it high. Now, can he capitalise? Whose ball? Who's going to get there? Great ball, and now the shot. They've got it back as soon as they gave it away. Here it is now, surely! Danger averted for now. With Ziyech. Over to the left. Played back in. Drilled in low. Surely he scores! Away from immediate danger.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
That's a goal kick. Ziyech drills one in.
Ajax are actually displaying tremendous fighting spirit. There's a real belief that they could still have a say.
It's out for a goal kick. Tonelli. And it's Quagliarella. Quagliarella. Jafrel shoots! Schöner plays it forward. They are right into last chance territory. He's come through and he's had a quick look inside. It's one! Back of the net! They have stolen level at the last! What about that, Jim Beglin?
It's rarely a problem when that much time is afforded in the penalty box. Nobody sensed where the danger was lurking, and the finish was made a lot easier.
So all square with almost no time remaining. He just whacks it away.
Sampdoria.
Could move up a gear here. He's made certain that won't get through. Keeper's got good distance on that.
There's only one word for this, it's baffling. That team needs to figure out where the ball needs to be, and it's not there.
Quagliarella. Big chance. He's gone for it! And that is the last effort of the game. Well, nobody is totally satisfied, but it was a more than decent game, a super watch, and it ends in a draw. And after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
Yeah, this looked the most likely outcome, but we've had a good variety in this game, despite it being anticlimactic.
Many thanks to Jim, and with that, it is a very good night to you. Well, good day to you on a grey day here, which promises rain, but promises way beyond that what should be a really good game of football. The stands are packed here, people have done everything they can to get here. Indeed, the roads outside were pretty badly clogged, but I think most of the traffic issues have been settled, and indeed, I think most people have now got through the turnstiles and are well covered up against the elements, whatever they may throw at us over the next hour or two. The mighty Monumental, a true reflection of River Plate's powerhouse status. River Plate have gone with what looks like an orthodox 4-4-2, Jim.
Reminders of a golden era in English football, I should add, and it continues to hold its place in the modern game. Playing a second striker runs the risk of being outnumbered in midfield, of course, so with the wider pairing and fullbacks, plenty of running has to be part of their play. And of course, the right service into the box.
So off we go then. Jim, which player is best equipped for this game?
Well, if we're talking about strong characters, Gigi Buffon is an easy choice. A class act for me, whose presence gives confidence to everyone else in the team. He's a colossus, an Italian treasure.
Yeah, I'd have picked him too. No doubt the fans feel much the same way. Mbappe. That's played to a promising move. Goes long. Thiago Silva boots it to safety. Marquinhos. Ball through needs to be good here. Can he score? There it is!
Well, when the game's played like that, it's made to look very simple. You know, I love watching football like this. Easy, effective, 1-2 and bang. Thanks very much.
River Plate go ahead, 1 goal to the good. And it's Quintero. Has he picked him out? And the finish! He's done very well to get to that.
Oh, that's a sparkling save, absolutely sparkling. His reflexes work ultra sharp.
Now it's Neymar. Cavani. Cavani! He's got options out wide. Oh, sweet feet. Played into the middle. Carries far too far and out of play. Now it's Skoko. Surely a foul, free kick. It's not taken him long, and that's going to be a booking. What a save! He had a long way to go.
Well, I thought his starting position was good, and that helped the keeper to judge the flight of the ball and deal with it well.
Over to the left. Bernat. Well read, he sorted that out.
It's a busy front line, lots of movement.
And is that working for you?
Well, not really. To be honest, I'm not a great fan of taking goal potential away from the penalty box.
River Plate enjoying a good spell right now and leading. Skoko. He's got the ball glued to his feet. That looks a good ball. Played out to the right. Quintero. River Plate scored early, of course, and it's 1-0. And it's Neymar. Bernat. Great challenge. Out for a throw. That'll be a throw. Cavani, Neymar, Bernat, Paredes, Meunier, Draxler, looks to clip it forward, short shoots! It's anyone's ball! Danger averted for now, now it's Neymar. Up to meet it! And oh, he's got that completely wrong.
All he'll be thinking is, please, ground, swallow me up.
Tries lifting it over. Play for a throw. Draxler. Neymar. Paris Saint-Germain keep the ball, but can't do anything meaningful with it. Kimpembe. Draxler, Mbappe, Meunier, now it's Cavani. It's a great gallop down the right-hand side. Surely a shot. And the flag has stayed down. That intervention was very necessary. Defence has got rid of that. Cavani. And it's Neymar. Draxler. Thiago Silva plays it forward. Mbappe. All the way back and they start again. And it's Skoko. River Plate are leading with half-time drawing close. And the weighted pass. And he just whacks it away. Now it's Skoko. Skoko passes in a low one. Cleared without complication. Draxler. Cavani. Draxler. Paredes. And it's got through. And he's onside. Fires it in low. Bernat. Neymar. He's an out wide now. You can get that clear. There's the whistle for half-time. And here we are, off they go for half-time. The breakthrough did indeed come in the first half, but there has only been that one goal. It is very, very tight.
Well, you obviously have to give credit to the front men for the half-time lead, but I think the midfield can really pat themselves on the back too. They worked tirelessly for me.
River Plate leading 1-0 at the break. There's the start of the second half.
Well, 1-0 may be good enough, so they may err on the side of caution and get more players behind the ball instead of running beyond it. They could even try to spoil it from here, we'll see.
Tries to get it forward quickly. Thiago Silva goes looking. Now the counter. Cavani plays it out to the wing. A chance to play it in. Marco Verratti. And the ball's come out. Now it's Neymar. Mbappe. And that'll go straight through to the keeper. Quintero, who does have an assist to his name. He's put it on the right now. What's on? Oh, great ball! Chance to shoot, shoots! They've done it! 2 up and threatening to pull clear.
River Plate are so well practiced in the art of keeping the ball through wonderful passing and movement, and a real appetite to ensure it's reflected in their goal count.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
That second goal has such a polarising effect on prospective moods. I mean, one team are under more pressure now to get the next goal, and the other will fancy their chances of turning 2 into 3.
Quintero. And it's Skoko. He goes long. Thiago Silva gets it back. Cavani. Neymar.
Everything they would have spoken about in that dressing room during the break has a greater chance of happening thanks to the early goal. It's the perfect platform now to go on and try to win it.
And he's whipped it in low. Gets good distance on it.
Well, that's the first attempt, Peter.
Skoko is fouled. Verratti. Cavani, he's in space and looking for options. Cavani, oh, nice touch. Cavani with a great leap! Could fall kindly. In it goes! He was really quick to react to the initial save, and he has his reward.
Oh, players like this fella almost have a sixth sense to get themselves in such great poaching positions. How quick-minded was that?
Paris Saint-Germain are able now to make their substitution. It's been on the cards for a few moments now. This is threatening to become a really good game.
Well, it was important they didn't get ahead of themselves and lose their discipline. This game plan could now well reward them with an equaliser.
Floats one over. Bernat positions himself well and cuts it out. And it's Verratti. Neymar.
That's what has to be done now, no question about it.
Hit and hope is just about the sum of it, isn't it, Jim?
Well, there's no two ways about it. This is what they have to do.
Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. The defence can get it clear. Cavani, Neymar. Oh, great defending, that needed doing. Neymar really struggling to influence the game.
Look, he could do with someone else taking responsibility to shift the target. He badly needs some help here.
Neymar. He's gone for it! That is wayward. Aimed long and direct. Oh, well intercepted, really alert to the danger. Neymar, and it's Cavani. Almost 75 minutes on the clock now. River Plate suddenly appear frail.
Yes, from comfort zone to a stage of uncertainty perhaps, and they can't drift into a carelessness or this could get away from them.
River Plate can make their change now with a break in play. Played it short, aimed in, big chance! Saved only by poor finishing.
Do I really need to tell you, Peter, that he has to do better, especially from there?
Skoko, out wide to the right. That is as far as they're going to go. Now it's Cavani. Lovely feet.
Paris Saint-Germain are actually displaying tremendous fighting spirit. There's a real belief.
River Plate have a free kick. Well, that looks like a final warning. Still no card. And out to safety.
This is good ball retention, and it should be enough from here, but they want to double their advantage.
Di Maria. Oh, well defended. That had to be done. Kenny, the shot's on! No mistake! Paris Saint-Germain are back on level terms.
Look, there just wasn't much of a gap to begin with, and to find it, I think it was a fine drive, and I don't think the keeper could have really planned for that. I think he's a bit unlucky in that instance.
Changes here from both sides, in fact.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the efforts he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
This has become one superb game of football.
Well, that goal just serves to give them the momentum and psychological edge now at this stage, but for me, they've got to chase a winner.
Here it comes. He's in! Kimpembe knocks it away.
River Plate showing a good level of intensity at this stage. They're calling on all their resources now.
And it's Verratti. Thiago Silva. 5 minutes left on the clock. Thiago Silva tries to dink it in. Looking for space out wide. Gets up to head it! Oh, he couldn't get the direction he needed.
Paris Saint-Germain can defend those situations better by stopping the crosser at source.
He's picked him out. Away from immediate danger. And it's been taken straight back. Confirmation that there will be 2 minutes stoppage time. Cuts it out. Now it's Skoko. What an adventurous run from a defender. And that is it. The referee has seen enough. Well, a game that had everything except a winner. Really watchable and honours even. How do you look back on the game then, Jim?
Listen, the more this game went on, a draw was always likely to be on the card. So overall, I don't think anyone will be complaining too much about what they've got.
So that's it from us. Many thanks go to Jim Beglin, and goodbye from us.